As WandaVision ends, Falcon and the Winter Soldier swoops in on serial wings, giving us another good reason to glue our butts to the seat for the next few foreseeable Fridays. And like its predecessor, it is positively packed with little references and Easter eggs for the dedicated Marvel fans. Whether they're hints at future events or simply bonuses for those that know their comics, we here at ScreenRant are more than eager to help you locate them all. So right off the bat, the series introduces Sam's new fan, friend, and partner within the military in a young man named Torres, who aids him on the ground on his missions and even goes off on his own to investigate the Flag Smashers. But Torres isn't some new addition to the show. He's actually the second Falcon. In the comics, when Sam Wilson officially took over as Captain America, Joaquin Torres, who is of Mexican descent, gained bird-like powers when he was genetically spliced with the DNA of Sam's trained Falcon Redwing by the scientist Carl Malus. But given that Redwing is an AI drone in the MCU rather than a living Falcon, it's safe to say that his origin story won't be carried over. Plus, while Carl Malus actually already appeared in the Jessica Jones Netflix show, there's still no final word on whether or not these shows are even canon at all. But hey, that doesn't necessarily mean that Torres couldn't somehow end up sporting his own set of wings one day. The newest threat in the show is the rise of a terrorist group calling themselves the Flag Smashers, who believe that the world was better off when half the population was wiped out during the blip, and that the world as a whole would do better without any national borders. In the comics, the Flag Smashers wasn't a group though, but rather the supervillain identity of one man, the Swiss Karl Morgenthau, whose parents were the victim of xenophobic hate crimes, fueling his hate against the concept of nations as a whole. He did, however, lead a terrorist group called Ultimatum at one point. So far, we know very little of the Flag Smasher group or their leader in the show. But Aaron Kellyman is listed in the credits as a character named Carly Morgenthau, making it seem pretty clear that we're going to be dealing with a gender-flipped version of the longtime Captain America villain. Now, this one is hardly hidden, but it's still nice to see. When Sam and Rhodey, who makes a welcome surprise cameo in this series, take a walk through the Captain America Museum and share their experiences as partners of superheroes that are now gone, we see a number of posters from back during World War II on the walls. And among them, we can plainly see the famous front page of the very first Captain America comic book, where the good captain boldly socks Hitler square in the jaw. With the MCU's captain having been used as a mascot first back in the day, the comic actually does exist in-universe, and is certainly a good fit for a museum dedicated to the hero's legacy. After Sam respectfully and graciously gives up the shield, and with it the chance to become the new Captain America, it takes the American government all of 3 seconds to simply hand it over to a brand spanking new captain, much to Sam's frustration. This man is John Walker, and boy, let me tell you, the dude has quite a past in the comics. He was introduced as a supervillain called the Super Patriot, who was originally created to symbolize the dangers of nationalism, as opposed to Steve Rogers' more idealistic take on American values. He did actually take over as Captain America for a while in the comics as well, only to later take on the moniker of US Agent when Steve reclaimed the title. With John Walker being a more conservative and often more violent character than Cap and his partners, his appearance is sure to cause more than just a little bit of tension. Did one of those kidnappers at the beginning of the episode look familiar to you by any chance? Well, he should, because that is none other than our good old friend Georges Batroc, known better in the comics as Batroc the Leaper. Once again, attempting to hijack a military vehicle, just like the last time we saw him, which was, fittingly enough, back in Captain America Winter Soldier. Fans of Batroc are likely to be extra delighted when they notice that his outfit has gotten a little more colorful this time around. He's sporting the occasional splash of purple and yellow, which are the trademark colors of his hilariously garish outfit from the comics, where he's more of a showboating, arrogant savant master just in it for the money, and for the chance to enjoy a good fight with the captain and his partners. Time will tell if he's in the employ of some of the series' bigger scope villains this time, however. Torres at one point states that there are people out there who think Captain America is simply hiding on a secret moon base. While this just sounds like a funny little Elvis Lives-style gag, he's not completely wrong. In the comics, the Avengers have had space stations at their disposal, most recently one called the Lighthouse, which served as the base of operations for a Steve Rogers-led group of heroes called the Secret Avengers. which consisted of Captain America, Black Widow, Moon Knight, Ant-Man, War Machine, Nova, a Valkyrie named Brunhilde, and even Beast of X-Men fame. With the approximately thousands of other TV shows and movies on the way, several of which will be starring these particular characters, it's probably safe to assume this is a deliberate shout-out. Bucky has a lot of baggage. There are a lot of bodies out there with his name on them, and his tenure as Winter Soldier ensured a lot of bad people came into positions of great power, which we see results in him keeping a list of people he has to take down to make amends for his crimes. Yeah, not quite as fun a list as Cap's pop culture to catch up to one, is it? There are a few obvious candidates on the list, like Zemo, but one name, A. Rostov, sticks out. Andrei Rostov was a KGB officer who served as a warden in a Russian gulag where Bucky spent some time in prison, and was also known under the villainous alias of Red Barbarian. He later met his end getting shot by an unseen sniper, who was quite heavily hinted to be Bucky himself. Wonder if he'll pop up again during the show. It seems somewhat unlikely, but rest assured that we are keeping our eyes peeled. One episode in, 5 more to go, and already things are amping up with the Flag Smashers on the move, Bucky's life being in turmoil, and a new captain entering the scene. And surely there'll be many more Easter eggs to catch on the way.